Back at the bus, back at it with a episode review, episode 1 through 3 for The Penguin. I've really been enjoying the show so far. I mean,
I have as well.
really
I haven't expected to like a villain show without the main star as much
nice.
as I've enjoyed the Penguin, but they've given you a lot of intrigue. It's kind of like
Mhm.
your typical organized crime story.
Yeah,
It's also an underdog story.
there's really no
But
negatives that I have for it so far. I think for me, like the biggest parts of it have been obviously the character acting. Obviously, Colin Farrell does a really good job of the Penguin, but Rhenzy Feliz has done a really good job as Victor. And I
Victor,
think Sophia
mhm,
Falcone is a great
she's a
or
monster.
the
She's still in the
person who's
show.
playing Sophia Falcone. Yeah, she's really still in the show. She
She's
really
still
is.
in the show. I think Colin Farrell's had a um, really good performance as Oz, but I think she's stealing the show. Like she's one of those characters. She kind of has that Jonathan Majors effect where you may not even be the focus at the moment, but like every time you're on screen, you just kind of like steal the spotlight. That's
Yeah,
what she does for me.
she's selling an Arkham Asylum patient for sure.
Hmm.
Just
Sure.
the obviously the craziness of it all.
So another thing that I've enjoyed is the fact that they found a way to bleed the Batman DNA into this very real, very grounded, very realistic television show, right? Like we still deal in Arkham. It's not New York City, it's Gotham. Which is simple, but it's the way that they play into it, right? The references, the callbacks, it all kind of sets the stage for what is a Batman universe, but you can still tell that this is a story that kind of happened outside the context of Batman. And
Mhm.
then they still find a way to weave it into the story, right? Like they have obviously the tragedy of Victor's family and that tying into the first Battinson. So it's been a pleasant surprise for me so far for sure.
And obviously everything going on with the Falcone family being that the big boss Carmine Falcone is now gone. Also tying in with it a little bit, but yeah, no,
Right.
I really enjoyed the writing. I think as you mentioned, the things going on with Victor, I think it's great that uh, you know what has happened to him, his circumstance is really playing a huge part in his decision making up to this point. And we really see that in episode 3 where he has a huge decision that he has to make of whether or not he's going to leave Oz completely or if he's going to stay in this life of crime for something bigger and better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So things like that are, we watch a lot of shows that where the writing is not on point like this, and I think
Mhm.
they've done really well so far. So I wanted to give kudos to that. One other thing that I really wanted to quickly mention is how do you like your boy Lorenzo Tejada playing a worker for Sophia Falcone?
Yeah, no, Renzo did pop up. He, wasn't a very extended stay. But it was good to see him in something else.
No, for sure, for sure. I'm glad he's doing good. He's doing good. Well, not so much anymore, but
Not so much. No, not so much anymore.
Okay, so any thoughts on anything that happened in episode 1? Obviously, we start off with Oz going to see the son Falcone, Alberto Falcone. He went there to pick up something from the Falcones originally, and then Alberto walked in on
I'm
him.
not sure what he went there for initially, but when he met the son, it kind of unraveled very quickly, right? Because Oz is not at a place where he's particularly respected right
Hmm.
now. And so as he's kind of like swinging his dick, he's taking his victory lap in Oz's face. Gets a little disrespectful. Shades of Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Yeah,
only only this Shannon, he handled it a little bit differently than
quite
Unc
a bit
did.
so.
I
Yeah,
um I think it kind of set the stage for what this show was gonna be, and it was perfect. This whole scene was perfect. It was very slow, very deliberate. It was like, all right, man, come on, you're gonna have to get going. This is the penguin. Like, do some penguin shit, right? And then no sooner than you settle into, oh man, here we go, another snooze fest where the main guy's not gonna show up, and We're just gonna have a lot of boring exposition, and we're gonna try to humanize his character. Oh nope, shit. And see, there's another thing, right? That's consistent through these episodes. They will humanize Oz right before they show you that he is an unredeemable character,
Hmm.
right? That is what has been missing from a lot of antagonists or villain arcs in Hollywood lately, is that they humanize them so much that you end up rooting for them, and then it
Hmm.
becomes a conflict later on in the film to explain motivations on
Yeah.
from both sides, right? But with this, they are very plainly showing this is a bad guy, but we're just going to give you the full story of this bad guy. He's not just a bad guy. He's not mindlessly kind of running around stealing, robbing, and reaving because that's his nature. It's a little bit of that, but it's mostly because it's a yearning of wanting to be more, right? It's a longing to want to have a place. And in that way, him and Victor mirror each other very well. I think that's why they gravitated towards each other, is
Hmm.
because the same way Victor's trying to find himself and be important in some real way, that's what Oz has been shooting for his entire life. So he
Yeah.
sees that in Victor. I think it's been very interesting, man. It's episode 1 was great. I guess we can talk about episode 2 a little bit.
Yeah. As I pull up this synopsis real quick, I did want to point out that I think it's very interesting that once he finds Victor, I thought it was really interesting that Victor is seeing a lot very quickly of Oz's life. I don't know if some of that is going to play a part, later on in the season or anything, but he's seeing a lot very quickly. One other thing that I thought was interesting, and at least episode 1 that plays a part in episode 2, is the fact that Alberto thought it was so funny to kind of play with the penguin, play with Oz, with
Yeah.
this ring, and then
Mhm.
just for him to pick up the ring and give it to the other crime family, the Maroney crime boss. I thought that was very interesting to show his loyalty to him, and kind of bring this whole thing a little bit further.
I don't think there is no loyalty in Oz. I think he's playing both sides of the fence until one side wins out, and then he's gonna try to assume his spot.
Yeah,
But I don't think he's any more loyal to the Maronis than he was to the Falcons. It was just a kind of position of convenience to be able to play them against each other for his goals, you
yeah.
know?
Well,
So
I mean, I
even
guess they could prove his loyalty.
sure, it was a good show of faith. Good show of
Yeah,
faith.
yeah, 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 yeah. And again, I just feel like Sophia, really plays it close to her chest that she knows she has this sixth sense to smell out all the bullshit from not only Oz, but the people in her family, and even at times Alberto, her brother. Like I find that really interesting that we never really know what she's thinking, what she realizes.
We also don't know specifically what her and Berto got done, what they knew, right? Like for these first couple of episodes, it's very pins and needles because you don't know what she knows. You don't know if she's just poking and prodding and fishing to see what Oz knows. Where is Berto? You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
we don't know for sure where she's at because she keeps it very close to the vest. And again, to point out old girl's performance, she kind of has you on the edge of your seat every time she shows up because it's like, all right, she's not the boss, but boy, does it feel that way when she walks in the room.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So by the second episode, he had already worked out the deal with the Maronis, and now
Mhm.
the wife is getting kind of suspicious, but also feels like it's an opportunity for them to use Oz. So
Mhm.
right then and there, you know that she's going to be an issue, right? Because she's kind of taking a more interested or a more proactive approach to Oz than what the Maroney boss is,
Yeah, and
Salvatore
then
Maroni.
yep.
So she finally is sick of Oz's shit, and she wants a solid answer on what's going on with her brother, where he is. They're torturing him. She's getting ready to wire his damn arm off, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
while all of this shit is going on, they haven't yet given us the pretext of Sophia and Oz's former relationship. They haven't even let on that they know each other beyond his loose affiliation to the Falcons.
Yeah.
So she was sitting over there torturing him, and then all of a sudden the car rolls in with her brother's body in the back. Right? Shout out to
Mhm.
Vic. Um, Now at that point, she kind of hops off of him. And I was watching that end of that episode, and I'm like, well, why would that clear him? Like, why would that make it okay? I would just assume that he had a role in it.
Mhm.
I didn't have the context of their prior relationship, and they slowly but surely in the next episode kind of start. Oh wait, no, that's not episode 2. That was episode 1. We
Yeah.
got a little bit of background on why he's so motivated to be something, because his mom needs him to be something, to feel something about herself. It's just a generational curse that's handed down there. Oh
Because
wait,
I
no,
feel like
that's 2. Yes. Yeah, he killed the
he
informant.
killed the
He
guy.
was
Yeah.
going to he was going to set dude up,
He's gonna set
right?
Johnny Beatty up.
The Johnny V, and he was gonna make dude get name dropping, but homeboy couldn't get the diamonds in the car. Victor couldn't get the diamonds in the car. He ran off. Well, plan B is I'm just going to cut you from navel to chest, navel to nipple, and
And then
we just gonna do it
whoever I
like that. Yeah, and plant this shit on Lorenzo. Now, Sophia's flip. It didn't take a whole lot to convince her that
Mhm.
homeboy was the problem. And that was a little bit telling to me because of how suspicious she's been of Oz.
Then, like you said, we kind of get into the heat of things with this new drug that Oz names Bliss, which I think is marketing genius, by the way. Um, yeah, so we get into him, both of them actually, Sophia and Oz, really needing each other, despite their sordid history with each
I
other.
I wonder how much they're letting Colin Farrell rift in some of these scenes, because Oz's ability to kind of improvise as he goes is masterful. He is the best bullshitter I've ever seen in my life, and he turns his bullshit into tangibles just as he goes. He just kind of speaks them into existence and things happen. So
Yeah.
um I wonder how much they're just actually letting him talk in some of these situations, like the scene where they're selling it to the triad, to the Dali, right?
Mhm.
He kind of takes over that entire situation, even though Sophia just gave him a very clear directive of who's running the show, and you better remember that, and just kind of swinging her dick because she doesn't want to feel like she's getting outmaneuvered. But at the
Right.
same time, that deal doesn't go down without Oz. She shows her show of strength, and she walks out, and it does what it does. Without Oz's sales pitch, though, I don't think it all goes down.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And obviously, he's the one with the connection that led them into.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, yeah, they wouldn't even be sitting down in front of the Dowley if he hadn't worked his magic with the triad.
yeah. Yeah. And obviously, this drug is something crazy. It's like Dahlia from Power. It's
Right, literally like Dowley. I was thinking about that too. I was like, they done stole this shit from Power.
They stole multiple things from Power. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, just because of the sort of history between them, it really makes this a little bit more interesting. But obviously, Victor is also going through his own things. He obviously spoke with his girlfriend at Oz's spot about whether or not he should just leave all of this because it's really not him. It seems like his family was a very loving family, but because of what's going on, he really has no family to go back to, and the only thing that he really has as a remnant is this girlfriend. So he can either be with her or he can live this new life where he can be on top.
And then also he's conflicted because he feels like he's forced to stay where he's at. So he's not really addressing the situation accurately. Because while Oz is a criminal, he's he does bad things, he kills people, he real steals, robs, kills. At
Hmm.
the same time, he has never made you do anything. He made you stop robbing his car,
Yeah.
and then he made you do a favor for him so that he wouldn't kill you from trying to steal his car.
Hmm.
I mean, after that though, man, you've shown up for work on time every day. You know?
And it was really interesting that he specifically said, like, I can't leave. He won't let me leave. What? He never
When
said
did he
anything
say
like
that?
that.
Yeah, when did that happen? When did you
Yeah.
become his slave?
He,
It was a humanizing moment for Oz when they actually got down to talking about it, because it was like, yo, when did I treat you like you were my slave? I mean, other than the obvious, when you were trying to steal my car, but beyond that, I've only ever treated you. God gave you $1,000 a week. I'm paying you $44,000 a year to drive
Mhm.
me.
Yep.
Okay, Uber don't make that.
Yeah.
Uber don't make that. So They don't sound like a slave to me. So once he
And
got out of that funk, he was able to kind of view the situation as a whole. I think if he
mhm,
hadn't described the situation to his girl the way she described it, it maybe would have been a little bit easier to keep the relationship going, or hey, just come back
mhm,
and visit, or maybe you can stay here, split time. I obviously got the money. We can, we can work on travel back and forth. It'll be hard, but we can stay together. But when you walk into it like he's a criminal, he might kill me if I try to leave. Well, yeah, nigga, if you don't show up at this bus station, I'm never gonna see you again. Like it's over.
yeah, yeah.
So he had to let that go.
No, for sure. I also really think it's interesting that, at certain times throughout this episode specifically, you really get to see him start to, at least at the very least, somewhat embrace the role that he's being given with Oz.
That's a fact.
Be it, obviously, he probably didn't like the fact that his money got taken as a bribe, but I think he liked the fact that he was able to think
He
on
was
his
able to
feet like
maneuver.
Oz told him. Yeah.
Yeah, he was able to get out of it. Now, he's learning.
And then
And
he's got a little snow bunny that he can dance with on the dance floor while he's having panic attacks.
and so now he went to go say goodbye to his girlfriend. He's popping back up at the club, and what do I see? Looky, looky. My boy Oz about to catch a bullet with Sophia Falcone. Now, after Sophia and Oz have this heartfelt conversation, he's very truthful. He's showing us his layers, his personality, his truth.
Mhm,
Like, yeah, I fucked you over for that position. I never had anything. And doing that got me in a better position than I'd ever could have expected. And it was worth it. Right. And then now we in the bullshit. Bow, bow, bow.
mm.
Boom. Big shows up, crushes the dude. What about Sophia? Fuck it.
Leave
Leave her.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But I
You didn't
love
have
it though,
to.
because they're not working overtime to make Oz into a good guy. No, he's not a good guy. He
Yeah.
has good motivations from time to time. He has good history at certain moments, but he's not a good guy. He's not trying to
Mhm.
be a good guy.
Facts. Facts. Yeah, that was tough to see. I mean, because it did seem like they had crossed a bridge in their relationship just for him to be like, "Oh no, fuck it. We're leaving. We're out."
Yeah.
Obviously no real redemption is going to come from that for Sophia. Um, and I guess that's where we are now. Like I said, I've really been enjoying the Penguin so far. Uh, I just feel like it gives me everything that I'm looking for out of, I guess, a crime story, but then also technically a loosely based superhero story as well. They're really doing the story right,
Yeah,
and the
no
acting
fact.
is incredible.
And I like I said, I really thought it would suffer from the kind of typical things that you get from superhero movies without the main character. Lack of importance. But again they found a way to kind of tie this into the main Matt Reeves Battinson universe, and it feels like it's going to play a role down the line. So
Mhm.
I'm pleasantly surprised for sure through the first three.
Agreed. Anything else we got to discuss for Penguin episodes 1 through 3?
I think that's it. You guys go ahead and give us your thoughts on the first three episodes of Penguin in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back to us. We'll probably do these in threes, continue doing them like this. Give us enough time to kind of get into them. And because of how they release, we'll put them in the right schedule. And so look out for, the next couple of episodes in another review. Also, while you're here, check out the rest of the television shows and movie reviews we have available for you. Got a couple playlists set up. Again, like, share, subscribe. Stay with us.
Absolutely. Peace.